To a special edition of Locked On Astros. Josh Hader is officially a Houston Astro. Are we gathering the infinity stones of the back-end bullpen puzzle in Major League Baseball? Hey, let's talk about it right now. Me and Eric got some cool stuff. Let's go, Eric, right now.
Welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can't see me, but I'm here. We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you make us your daily listen for all your Astros news, even when Josh Hader signs with the Houston Astros. He is H-Town Wheelhouse. We are the Locked On Astros podcast. And Brett, where can they find you on X?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on X, Instagram, and TikTok. They can find me at Astros411 on X, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive. I love Josh Hader coming to H-Town. Always Stros.
Guys, thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen every day, whether it's on YouTube. Go and keep on subscribing to us. Go and give us a big fat thumbs up and go and make us your first listen on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Go and check out the Locked On Astros podcast. Make us become an everydayer. Make us your first listen. And we will do extra shows like this because we love you guys. We love the Houston Astros. And we love the fact that after 9 years, Josh Hader is back in Houston, baby. Josh Hader, I hated that trade. I was at a baseball game, and Brandon, the baseball lawyer, we were at the game when we heard about that trade, and him and his brother were like, they're sitting down. I was kind of in upper deck, and they're like, we need to go up there and talk to Eric, because they knew how high I was on Brett Phillips and Josh Hader at the time. I was writing for Climbing Taos Hill back then. And these guys were great. And I'm like, we traded these two guys for Carlos Gomez and Mike Fiers. Little did we know what Mike Fiers turned into, but we're not going to go there in this episode.
Or Carlos Gomez. I mean, he was Mr. Pimp a Pop Fly.
Where's my helmet?
He lost his helmet. He would pimp pop flies, and he had a temper that was made for the NFL. Look, Eric, if I had on my bingo card that the Texans would be in the division series playoff, one win away from a AFC championship, and Josh Hader the same weekend gets signed by the Astros, I would say you probably need to check into a program that has 12 steps to get you off of whatever you're on. This is not typical of what the Astros have done the last couple of years. And I tweeted today that if you called Jim Crane a cheap, you know what, you need to apologize. This man is not cheap. This man is frugal. This man knows how to spend. But you know what? Haters are going to hate. But you know what? Josh Hader's going to ball, baby. He is the man. I'm so glad. And my guy, Adam Wynn, I got to give him a shout out. He is one of our most faithful followers. All you guys in here and girls in here, the same thing. But Wynn puts out some Adam Wynn puts out some really cool TikTok just videos. He said a future look at Game 7 of the 2024 World Series, and it was Josh Hader in a Padres uniform striking out the side against the LA Dodgers. I was like, let's go inject that into my veins. So I was super pumped, dude. I'm really, really excited.
Yes, and so there's a lot for us to talk about. There's a lot of ramifications for the Astros doing this. Yes, this puts them over the luxury tax threshold by a lot. This is a change of thinking for Jim Crane in so many different reasons, but this is also gives the Astros this dynamic back end of the bullpen that we haven't seen since maybe Dotel, Wagner and Brad Lidge days. Back then, I guess you can say we've seen some pretty good bullpens recently, but this is going to be one of the scariest bullpens in baseball. Get a lead after 6 innings. The back end of bullpen will shut them down. But the Astros did it for 5 years, $95 million. That's $19 million per year, which, believe it or not, is a record for the highest amount of money that's ever been given to a reliever. You might say, but wait, what about Edwin Diaz? Well, that had a lot of deferrals. So that was only actually $93.2 million after the deferrals. So Josh Hader is now the highest paid, technically, reliever out there. And he's one of the best relievers out there. And Dusty Baker leaves. The Astros finally get their lefty.
They finally get their lefty. Thank you, Dusty. I think you said we would thank you later. But I don't know if that really meant he meant this. Eric, the thing is, someone asked me today, I was actually talking to someone. I was at a place tonight grabbing dinner for my son and I. And I said, what do you think about the news? And he said, oh, I love it. He goes, what happens to Presley? Does he become the setup man? And I said, well, I don't think you pay a guy $95 million to be your setup man. Presley's been the setup man before. The other question is there a possibility of them trying to package a couple players like Montero? I don't know, Framber. I'm just saying, are there some players that they're going to try to offload some money and try to get something back for them with having to pay Hader this? Because now it pushes them over that first threshold, and they're about 20 million away from the next one. I think the next threshold they would hit, they would get a 20% tax, I believe, on their payroll. So people are asking in the chat, what does that mean for Bregman? What does it mean for Tucker? What does it mean for Altuve? I still think they sign Altuve. I still think they sign Tucker. I just think Bregman is gone. But this dream scenario, this is what I want. Next week, I want Hader introduced. And then after that, I want Altuve, Tucker, and Bregman all at a table together, all signing.
Right.
It won't happen. And I know that's insane. But wouldn't that be great? And trying to be like, just roll the little single, your number one finger up to everybody, say, you call it deep.
Hey. Since you brought it up, I do want to go ahead and kind of correct something you just said, but give you the exact details. Okay. So the Astros luxury tax threshold, the payroll right now is around $253.5 million. They are only $3.6 million away from tier 2.
Oh, okay. So they're a lot closer to tier 2 than I thought.
Right. So even if they sign Phil Maton for $3.5 million, they're almost close to tier 2. So I see a lot of people saying, well, why don't you go ahead and just go all in now and go get another outfielder, go get this. I don't think Jim Crane is okay spending money, but I just don't see him wanting to pay that 20%. So because the Astros signed Josh Hader, they're going to forfeit a second round pick and $500K in international money as well. So it's not just about what the money they're giving to Josh Hader. Okay. So Ryan Presley, you mentioned this. How is he gonna take the news of not being the closer, America's closer anymore? I mean, he came in with that great intro last year. I forgot what it was, what the song was, but it was a great intro. They had the whole lights going out. It was
Ring of Fire. Ring of Fire by good.
So, but it's how Joe Espada handles this, because I do agree. If you're going to pay $95 million to a pitcher, he's going to be the closer. Ryan Presley will be here likely for 2 more years because, yes, this is his final year of his deal, but he does have a mutual option for 2025. But it becomes guaranteed if he pitches 50 outings. He's pitched 50 outings in each of the last 7 years. So that's not going to be issued this year. So unless something happens, he's going to be a Houston Astro next year. So we're going to have these back end of the bullpen for 2 years.
Wow. Look, here's the deal. That was the song "God's Gonna Cut You Down" by Johnny Cash. I knew it wasn't Ring of Fire when I said that. That was the only Johnny Cash song that came to mind. But yeah, God's Gonna Cut You Down. So look, we'll get God's Gonna Cut You Down, and then whatever hater comes out to. I don't care, dude. My question is this, because when I was having this conversation earlier, to go back to this conversation I had with the fan, I actually introduced him to the show. He's going to start listening to the show. Was there a discussion with Ryan Presley before they signed Josh Hader? Did they talk to him about it? Did they even go to him? Is he a veteran that you don't really talk to this guy? But to me, he's your stalwart closer, Eric. And so that is what I wonder what happened behind the scenes, if anything.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and continue this conversation. We're going ahead. There's going to be some more fallout from the signing. Most of it will be good. The Astros have extended their window by a lot. Now, how will it affect the Astros in extensions, free agencies, all that down the road? I think only time will tell. But Jim Crane has opened his eyes. How much? We'll have to see in a second.
Hey, everybody, this episode is brought to you by FanDuel. It's America's #1 sports book. Go to FanDuel.com/lockedon. That's right. The NFL regular season is over. The Houston Texans, baby, are in the playoffs. They play the Baltimore Ravens. Now, Lamar Jackson is 1-3 in the playoffs. Can the Texans dominate on defense? They've got key players on both sides of the ball that are out. The Texans, can they take full advantage with their rookie quarterback, rookie head coach, and rookie offensive coordinator? If you're wondering this, right now, new customers get $150 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place a $5 bet. That's $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. The app is so easy to use. There are so many different ways. Live same-game parlays. Find bets in the new Explore tab. Make a parlay in the Parlay Hub, the best way to find popular parlays and more. So visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and make your first bet a layup. FanDuel, the official partner of the NFL. And this episode is brought to you by Game Time. That's right. Game Time is here. If you need tickets for last-minute events, it doesn't matter. No more planning in advance. No more hassling with ticket prices. You know what you're getting with Game Time. I've used Game Time. I love it. It's amazing. So let me tell you, they let you see where your seat is, let you know exactly what's going to happen, all-in-one pricing to show you up front so you're not like backdoored with any other charges. Buy tickets in seconds. With 2 taps, you got it. They have deals not just for baseball, but football, basketball, concerts, theater, and so much more. The Game Time guarantee means you'll always get the lowest price. And if you find tickets in the same row and same section for less, Game Time will credit you $110% the difference. So download the Game Time app today. Create an account and use the code LOCKEDON for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create the account, redeem the code LOCKEDON, LOCKEDON, 20% off. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed.
Myself.
Eric was going to town and you couldn't hear. It's like, Eric, I can see your mouth moving, but I don't hear anything coming out, brother.
Yeah.
Hey, dude,
so,
Eric.
Yeah.
I'm just going to tell you right now, the league better be ready because the Astros, y'all done pissed off Jim Crane. All right. Arlington, that trophy is ours. We're coming to get it back. Okay. So enjoy it while it lasts because we're putting the infinity stones and we're putting the gauntlet of closers up in your face, and we're going to come up to South Oklahoma and take back what's ours. Okay, go ahead, Eric. I'm sorry.
Right. So I know there's a lot of talk about what's in the contract. I don't know if we know the exact details for the limitations. I know Josh Hader has been kind of a very particular type of closer. He's got elite stuff, but he's one of those pitchers that only wants to get 3 outs. So don't be bringing him in the 8th inning because he only wants to come in during the 9th inning. That's typically, I think that's pretty much what he's done for the past, 6 or 7 years. So he's one of those, just bring me in for 3 outs and that's all. So he doesn't want to overextend. There's been times where they haven't pitched him back-to-back games. I don't know if that's going to be a limitation he'll have here, but he is 29 years old.
Well, he said he actually last year refused and said, I will not pitch 2 innings in one game.
Yeah.
That was his. Yeah. That was, usually a pitcher will say, hey, put me in as much as you need me, coach. Just throw me out there. So I wonder if, those things had to be discussed, and guys, let's have a talk real quick. Like suddenly, like all the skeptics, and not necessarily you or anybody listening, but all the skeptics, oh, the run's over. Crane is an idiot. Crane's cheap, blah, blah, blah. Now all of a sudden they're singing his praises. Now, which one is it? Is the glass half empty or half full? Have you not been around the last 7 years? Like, do y'all not trust the process? Don't ever come to me to an Astros conversation and tell me about the flipping Dodgers or the flipping Yankees and what they're doing. Okay? If you try to win like the Dodgers out there, you're going to get beat by the Dodgers in here, to quote Moneyball. Yeah. Don't do it. We're not the Dodgers. We're better than that. Eric, Hader coming in, signing the right people after this, extending the right players. This window doesn't close in 2024, man. This window keeps rolling through 2026, 2027, like I initially predicted. I'm just saying, dude, it's a lot of good things to say about this.
What we do know is that there's a full no trade clause, plus a bonus for winning the Reliever of the Year award, which is named after Mariano Rivera. So he did have a extremely high walk percentage last year, 13% walk rate. His strikeout rate is going down a little bit. His velocity is maybe down a tick, but he kind of relies on his basically velocity. So I think that I'm not worried about this guy. I think he's going to come over here. He's going to just do what he's been doing. And I think with him, Presley, and Abreu, it's going to be awesome. But a lot of people want to know what jersey he's going to be wearing. Likely, he's going to be wearing number 71. Nobody on Astros roster has number 71 right now, and that's what he's been wearing for his entire major league career. So the only Astros players in Astros history to wear it is J.C. Gutierrez, Carlos Sanabria, and Peter Solomon.
Peter Solomon. Do you remember? I remember Peter Solomon.
Yeah, that's my Dutch man. Yes.
There you go, man.
My fellow Dutch man. So yes.
Oh, that's right. So Joshua asked, Brett, do you still want Neris back, or are you okay with him leaving now that we've signed Hader? Neris plays a different role than Hader, obviously. Yeah, Eric's like, see you, Neris. Look, Neris again wanted, he was apparently seeking $50 million for 2 years. I don't know if that's true. He wants, I think, 3, possibly 4 years. The problem with Neris, and this is what I told them down at ESPN Southwest Louisiana this afternoon. I said, if Neris was 32, I would sign him in a heartbeat. If Neris was 31, I would sign him faster than a heartbeat. But Neris, isn't he 34 or 35, Eric?
He's 35, I think.
35. So if you sign him for 3 years, you're signing him until he's 38. Neris has been great. It's not that Neris doesn't deserve to get paid, but now that you paid Hader, he's younger. Bregman is not going to get paid because why? Kyle Tucker is younger. Yeah. The only guy you're going to pay that's 35 plus at this point, I guess you can put the Abreu thing off to the side, is Jose Altuve. I think he's the only guy at this point that they're going to give any kind of significant money to.
Well, just think about the price. I mean, if Neris is asking for $16.7 million,
right?
Wouldn't you go ahead and pay the extra $2 million for one of the best closers in baseball? Yeah, no duh.
Exactly. Yeah. So sometimes prices are floated out there as interference to drive prices up. And there were a lot of people that said, this is just agents floating numbers. And honestly, I kind of believed them, but people were like, what do you know? I'm like, I don't know anything. I'm like, if they sign Hader today, I literally said this. I was texting with a friend today. I was on my lunch break, and he said, what if we got Hader, and what if we did something else and got someone like a Dylan Cease or Luis Robert type player, not those two guys? And I go, dude, I don't think any of those things will happen. I don't think, it doesn't seem to me that they're willing to spend. And Crane's like, dude, I wish we could talk to Crane candidly. Crane is so pissed off that the Rangers won. He's upset that they beat him in his house, in the house that he's built.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Texas is his. Texas has been Astro State for a while since the Rangers have been so bad. So Jim Crane has come out of hiding. I mean, it seems like he's been kind of MIA for a little bit.
Is he going to be at the press conference? That's what I want to know.
I don't know.
Be at this one. He better be at this one. He's got a whole bunch of money going into this kid. He better be wearing a Hader jersey himself.
Yes. So Jim Crane said that we think that we have a good team, and adds a big piece to the back of the bullpen. With Presley and Abreu, you have 3 quality guys, 7, 8, 9, wherever they pitch. We think it gives us a nice chance to get to the playoffs and make another run to the playoffs. He went on to continue by saying that we try to make moves to win. That's what this one is about. That was the going rate for a pitcher, and that's what got it done. We're happy that we did it, and we have to do something else down the road. That's a possibility too. So if they have to go get another player, like you said, via free agency, they could, or if they could go out and get a trade piece, they could. I just don't think Dylan Cease, Luis Robert.
No. I mean, no. Like even if you traded, even if they did a trade with Chicago, you're giving them a guy that makes $12 million, and then you're giving them back a guy that's making $5 million. They're not going to flip the script on that. Right. The bottom line is this, Eric, with this team and with the makeup of this lineup is, I think our relief core is good, and I think our pitching core is good. And a lot of people are not giving Forrest Whitley a chance right now. I mean, even people, and I'm not going to call people out because I'm not one of these guys on the airways that wants to call out a guy for like a bad take, unless it's a ridiculous take. But I've even seen some people that have been ardent supporters of Whitley say, I just don't think he's going to do it. And I'm like, but based on what? I understand based on his history, but I think that this is the year that it has to happen. The law of probability in baseball has to work out. I mean, if you're a 125 hitter, you're going to hit 10%, 12% of the time, right? Well, this is that 10% of the time, the 12% of the time for Whitley. And I don't necessarily think he has anything to prove. I think he just wants to get out there and complete his dream, finish his dream. He doesn't want to pitch in a preseason game. He doesn't want to pitch in an exhibition like I saw him pitch in Minute Maid Park. He wants to pitch in a real major league game. Right. I am here to support Forrest Whitley the entire way. I am in his court. I believe in Forrest Whitley. I think he's going to be key, Eric, because you have the perfect mixture of veterans and young pitchers that can help him along. And you got a flamethrower like Josh Hader coming in. Dude, this is a world championship ball club right now. Right now, if we're not the top 2, one of the top 2 teams in the AL, then somebody out there who's evaluating is smoking crack. And if you don't know this, crack is whack. Don't do drugs, kids.
All right. Just to kind of show you how long Forrest Whitley has been around, I used to write for Climbing Tal's Hill, and I was trying to find an interview I did for with Hader way back when I was in Climbing Tal's Hill, or it was either with Talking Stros. But this is from June 14th, 2018. Could we see Forrest Whitley in 2018 as a reliever?
So what does 2023 Eric want to tell 2018 Eric right now? You know,
this is 2024 actually.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, okay. All right. 2024 Eric. What does 2024 Eric want to tell 2018 Eric?
Yes, but what's funny about it was I think Forrest Whitley at the what do you call it, the where they go around, the Astros go around the carnival, the
caravan.
Caravan, yes.
Santos Caravan.
Forrest Whitley made a joke. He said, I think I've held a record for being on the 40-man roster without actually throwing a pitch in the big league.
And
And
see,
that's
look,
true.
yeah, but that's the mindset he's got to have. He can't worry about what all the people say that don't like him or all the people that doubt him.
Right.
He can't worry about, oh, well, I've been here for so long. Like the only, there's two different types of athletes, y'all. There are good athletes and great athletes. Good athletes that became great athletes were able to get out of their own way. They were able to get over their mistakes. They were able to get over the humps in the road. And for Forrest Whitley to be great at who he is, he's got to just put it behind him and move forward. That's what life is about. And you all should be cheerleaders of Forrest Whitley. You shouldn't be like, oh, I've never heard of her. He's a unicorn. No, you should cheer him on because in your life, when you get down and you get bumps in the road, do you like people coming at you telling you, well, why are you trying? You failed too many times. No, you want people around you. So I'm going to be that person around Forrest. I'm going to be like, I've got your back. Eric, Locked On Astros, Brett Chancey, we got your back because I know I haven't always been successful. I've fallen many times, but it's like Rocky said, you fall down 7 times, you get up an 8th time. It's not a matter of whether you get knocked down. It's what you do when you got knocked down. And you know what? No one's going to come along and feel sorry for you. So you've got to get up and you've got to puff your chest up and you've got to know what you're made of, Forrest Whitley. This is your year. This is your year, 2024, the year of the Houston Astros, the year of Josh Hader, the year that we're going to take it back, bring the trophy back from Arlington, put it in its rightful place in Houston, the king of Major League Baseball right here in H-Town. That's all I got right there, man.
Woo. All right.
I'm pumped, dude.
Just imagine, we need to move back to Josh Hader. He's the man of the hour, but just imagine if Forrest Whitley is good in the bullpen. I mean, this could be one of the best bullpens in history with Souza, kind of how he took over last year, just some of the names we already have in the bullpen. This bullpen could be dynamic, but Jim Crane has kind of gone past his mold. The previous, he signed a 4-year deal with Josh Reddick, 4-year, $52 million. Then he did a 3-year deal for Jose Abreu last year, $58.5 million to keep Abreu or to get Abreu last year. So maybe we're seeing a change in thinking of Jim Crane. Maybe the Kendall Graveman injury and losing all the relievers, knowing how critical the bullpen is, not just throughout the regular season, but in the playoffs. So I think that what he realized is that if you're going to spend money, you're going to spend it on a proven arm like Josh Hader. Yes, he had a bad year, half season with the Padres when he was traded from the Brewers to the Padres, but then he rebounded nicely last year. He's one of the best closers in baseball. This is a great move for the Houston Astros. And if you're looking for the Astros to make a statement move, this was it. They may have some weakness in the outfield, depending on whether Jake Myers does anything this year. I think Chas McCormick is a lock for hitting this year. I think the Astros don't really need too much. If you want to add one more bullpen piece, great. But I think the Astros have what they need right now. Josh Hader is probably one of the best Astros signing we've had in a long time. Free agent signings.
No, it is, Eric, and this totally kills the narrative of not going out. Totally kills the narrative. And I'm glad. But you know what? Honestly, the perfect world scenario for me would be find a way to sign Altuve and Tucker. Find a way to keep those guys. This may be the deal. They may go to Tucker and say, look, we're going to sign Altuve. It's going to put us in this other tax bracket. But to keep us out of that 3rd tier or close to it, you and we're going to sit down at the end of the season because we can't have your salary on the books this year. We're going to put you on the salary books next year because we have some stuff coming off. So we need you to be patient with us. We need you to ball out this year because next year you're going to get that back. Now, I know they don't have conversations like that with players. That would probably not be good, quote unquote, business, not professional. But But that's what I would want it. That's the kind of mindset, because you could put him on the books next year and not hurt you this year.
So Spotrac had Hader's market value at 5 years, 87 point, let's just say $8 million, just around it. So average salary of $17.5 million. So the Astros thought that the going rate for a closer of his ability was $19 million. I agree with that. And they had to compete for Josh Hader. They had to compete with what Edwin Diaz got. So now the rest of the relieving market, I think you're going to see a lot of movement. The dominoes are going to start to fall.
So I like Arlie's suggestion right here. Sign Soler or Peterson, trade Myers for extra pitching. I like it. Soler, I think, ends up going to Toronto, though. Toronto just signed that Cuban pitcher, Uriel Rodriguez. I hear they are in on Soler. I think he goes there. I think Matt Chapman's going to end up a Giant. I think Peterson will end up probably somewhere. He might end up in Chicago. I don't know. But look, if we do any trades with pitching, Chicago needs pitching. And they've got some interesting pieces over there. Eric, we're just getting heated up, man. We've got a lot going on. We've got a lot more to cover this next week.
Yeah, and Brett, several people have asked. Yes, Ryan Presley is technically, there's a mutual option for 2025. Yes. As long as he reaches 50 games pitched this year, it will be guaranteed. Otherwise, it's a mutual option of $14 million. So it's just a matter of whether if he doesn't reach that, do the Astros want to continue this relationship? And if the Astros win another World Series, why not? Wouldn't he want to come back? So, guys, thank you for tuning in to the Locked On Astros podcast. Yeah. Josh Hader is now a Houston Astro. We love it. We hope that you love it. Thank you for tuning in. Go and subscribe to us. I'm Eric Huysman. He's Brett Chancey. We are the Locked On Astros podcast, and we will see you later. Go Astros.
Go Astros. Drink that Haterade, baby. Oh, where are we? Hey, we're here. Good job, Eric. That was fun. Let's go win a World Series.